And we are back in Giyani, and this is, of course, an election debate, and we are crisscrossing the country as Morning Live and SABC News overall, going to the lengths and breadths of this nation to get the voice of the people as we lead up to the May 8th poll. Now, in Giyani, just looking at some of the issues that have already been raised here, this is a municipality, the Greater Giyani Municipality, that is struggling with service delivery issues, particularly as it pertains to water and sanitation. But of course, this is also a municipality that was reported to the public protector by the Democratic Alliance, and this was of course to do with unauthorized and wasteful expenditure. And in the same year that was reported to the office of the public protector, this same municipality invested a staggering 100 million rand in VBS Mutual Bank. So those are some of the issues affecting the service delivery issues in this municipality that we are going to get to. But we're still answering questions. Before we went to that break, we actually had questions from the floor, and I think we still needed the EFF and Azapo to answer their questions. And then we have more people lined up, so we'll hear from the residents, the constituency representing all of these elected representatives. What are the issues on their minds? So let's answer those two questions, EFF and Azapo, quickly, and then it's back to the people of Giyani.
Thank you, Sakina. The question posed by the member there, it's of importance, is the question that will address all the crises we are facing in South Africa. First, on the issue of land, we are saying all the unoccupied land must be expropriated without compensation and be in the hands of the government. Secondly, we are saying people must be workshopped. We must put in place workshops, put in place training to workshop people on the usage of land, of the productivity of land. Agricultural land must be used for agriculture. Industrial land must be used for factories, so as we will know to put our people in a place whereby we are not going to tamper with the agricultural land. On a space that we are going to give people to occupy, we are saying a stand must be big enough to accommodate people. At the same time, they must have a piece of land where they can farm, a piece of land where they can have stock, so that we don't depend on money in everything. When you want a tomato, it's money. When you want an onion, it's money. We are saying people must have land so that we kill all the crisis, mainly the unemployment youth of South Africa. Because when we have land, we are going to intensify on the issue of state having internal capacity, whereby we do away with tenders that enrich Bioscope Makamo on daily basis. We as the government of the ANC, we as the government of EFF, we are saying the government of ANC has failed the people of South Africa decimally so for 25 years. On top of that 25 years, they are adding another 30 years. They are saying their NDP will be finished in 2030.
Okay, let me ask you this. How much land does government currently own?
Sorry?
How much land does government currently own?
Yeah, in the Greater Giyani Municipality.
We can talk about this. We can talk about the entire country.
There is one person called Tembe from Mozambique. He is owning almost half of this town, Giyani town. The rest of the land is owned by the Indians. Municipality doesn't have a land here. Even this community hall was built on a land that was stolen. It's not their land, and the family, they are now suffering. They stole this land from the family.
So the South African government owns no land in Giyani, is what you're saying?
Come again, Sakina.
Are you saying the South African government owns no land in Giyani?
I don't get the question.
I'm just going to ask you to bear with us, please. Please, I beg your indulgence. Please, I'm trying to pose a question.
Come.
I was asking, are you saying that the South African government does not own land in Giyani?
Yes, there is no land owned by the government here.
Mr.
Yeah, he can respond. Even himself, he doesn't have a land here. He's staying in Polokwane. He doesn't have a land here. He owns no land here.
Okay. If you just share the mic for a moment.
Sakina,
If you just pass the mic to him for a moment, I just want clarity on the question of land in Giyani. So government owns no land in Giyani.
I'm not surprised, Sakina, on what Peter is saying. He's not necessarily from Giyani, and he has not done research on land about Giyani. Let me say, the majority of the land around here is under the South African government in the trust of the traditional leadership. We have
How much of it?
almost 90% of the land in Giyani is in the hands of the traditional leadership. Let me tell you, the area currently is not aware. Let me clarify.
I just want to get clarity on the land question because Azapa will also be speaking to the land question. So I need some facts in this regard.
Let me clarify him. As you get into town, there will be a suburb called Kremetat. Along the portion there are stands which are owned by the municipality. That's number one. Number two, when you talk about Section F and Section D, in between the two areas, there is an open space there. Those are stands which are owned by the municipality. I must also say, beyond Section F, there are land which is under the traditional leadership of home area. What we are doing, as you get here, you will see a land which is under the traditional leadership of Mabunda traditional leadership. What we are doing as government now, we have a master plan which will be able to make sure that all the land which is here, which are within the municipality, are proclaimed.
I just wanted facts. It was the question to the EFF. So I want them to respond. I just needed clarity on the facts.
Let me finish on this one. Tomorrow is the 28th. There is a grand opening of a mall here, which is owned by the municipality, the land which is owned there. So it's not true what he's saying. He does not have facts. He does not know what he's talking about.
All right. So we're trying to get some clarity. We are trying to get some clarity on the question of land in Giyani. So, EFF, as we wrap this up. So, the issue seems to be that there is no land. So how does your plan roll out in the absence of land?
We are the first and the foremost. When we win this government on the 8th of May, we are going to take the land that is owned by Tembe there, one person owning more than 14 hectares inside town. We are going to expropriate that land. That land will be owned by the municipality here. Secondly, we are going to dispossess all the Indians who are owning the land in this town. We are going to dispossess that land.
Why?
Reason being, they are not using the land for a better purpose, for the purpose that will benefit the community of Giyani. They took a large portion of land and built a mosque where they just go to church, whereas the people of Giyani doesn't have a land. Even the mall is talking about, that mall was built on top of a river because there was no any other land where the mall was supposed to be built. Even again, Sakina.
So I need to move on. But I need to understand. You are going to dispossess people of land because they built a mosque on it. If they own it, surely they have the right to decide what they want to do with it.
Yeah, because we are against of foreign land ownership. We are against that.
All right.
We are against that.
Let me hear Azapo's perspective on this land question.
Thank you very much, Sakina. Azapo is aware that even the government does not know how much land it owes.
Well,
First,
evidently, we don't know how much land is owned.
Even the government does not know how much land it owes. It is therefore important to do audit around the land so that we know what land belongs to the government, what land remain unutilized, what land belongs to the private sector, for what reasons, so that we are able to make an informed decision about land. We struggle for land. The land question should not necessarily be used for convenience sake politicking. It shouldn't be. It is a serious matter about pride, about economy, about wealth, and everything that belongs to it. That is what Azapo believes in. But also, Azapo says, we need to do away with waste. There's a lot of waste. And one first waste that people don't talk of is the waste of this balkanization of our country into 9 so-called provinces. When the liberation movements, all, including all, when we were fighting for the liberation of this country, the objective was one united South Africa. Why did we conveniently divide it into so many states today? We believe, one, this is a waste, and therefore we need to abolish them all. And it will take back to the fiscus no less than 6 billion. So just imagine after 5 years, that billion, a lot of money can go to education, a lot of money can go to health services, a lot of money can go and create industries that will create jobs for our people. But the current status, it is discouraging. As Apo observes, that a municipality like this one underspends 18.5% on infrastructure. It is either done, one, because of incapacity, or two, deliberate theft. And we say because of incapacity because we are deploying cadres who are not even having potential to do certain tasks. We deploy people because we are just building cronies around. Azapo, what it does when it comes into power, professionalize civil service.
Okay.
Then they are able to take accountability for the decisions that they make, like investing money in VPS, when they know, or they should know, that that is illegal.
We're going to come back to VBS, but let's take a few more questions here. All right, your name, question. Straight to the question.
My question is directed to EFF. He said something about women sleeping to get power, to get... so clearly women are in the power of EFF have no place at all. If he can literally say to us, we can sleep with, unless you're going to sleep to get land, you'll keep on sleeping. So he's literally saying women don't belong anywhere in EFF government. So I want Peter to answer that, to say to us, you are saying the women who are fighting for EFF have no place in government because you see them as sex objects for them to get what they want. That's what you're saying.
All right.
And you're discriminating women.
Got your question. May we move on, please? Next person, please. Thank you.
Thank you. Sorry.
Continue.
No, thank you. My name is Justice Maluleke. My question directed to GLC. I want to know if we voted them, how are they going to do with our children who are smoking daga now because of the government which is legal, because of the...
Please continue.
The daga is illegal now because of the government of today.
All right. No, he is asking his question. If we would all just allow him an opportunity to ask that question. Continue.
How are they going to do with the mines that are closed?
Okay.
What are they going to do with the school, with the college of education that are closed now?
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next.
Thank you. My name is Bazima Maluleke. My question is directed to the Democratic Alliance. It's about the issue of corruption and service delivery. I want to find out from the DA, when you are in power, how are you going to arrest the scourge of corruption, which has got a critical link in poor service delivery by the ruling party? How are you going to improve on that? How are you going to do that in order to free the people of this province, including this area of Giyani, from poor service delivery, of which they have tolerated for about 25 years?
All right.
Thank you.
Let's park it there. We're going to take a break. We'll come back. We'll take more questions and we'll get some answers right after this.
mo mponeng. Bona fela. Ho jewa loto.
Happy birthday to me!
Sibuku.
It's Siboko.
Chesa wena.
Thank you. You're delightful. Especially for me.
Au, paratu wa man. Palatlhana.
That one's fast. No.
Nka bona monyako o buile. Nka potela hang.
Mponeng, come join us on DSTV channel 156, SABC Hong Kong.
Complicated cases. Shubile.
Your black friends might be running this country, but I'm still the government on Bataruk.
The poor child.
This kid was electrocuted by your fence.
Sorry, it's his own fault.
I put it to you that you have a personal interest in this case.
Under Section 300 of the Criminal Procedures Act 51 of 1977.
I urge the court to find in favor of the plaintiff.
The court finds the accused guilty.
Dedicated lawyers dig to the bottom and everyone gets peace. It's a pleasing judgment and it's justice for all on SABC Anko, DSTV channel 156. Complicated cases. Shubile.
Your black friends might be running this country, but I'm still the government on Bataruk.
The poor child.
This kid was electrocuted by your fence.
Sorry, it's his own fault.
I put it to you that you have a personal interest in this case.
Under Section 300 of the Criminal Procedures Act 51 of 1977.
I urge the court to find in favor of the plaintiff.
The court finds the accused guilty.
Dedicated lawyers dig to the bottom and everyone gets peace. It's a pleasing judgment and it's justice for all on SABC Anko, DSTV channel 156.
Welcome back to Giyani. We are at the Giyani Community Hall, and I'm just going to wait for the noise to die down. It is absolutely electric here this morning, with everybody trying to get their word in edgewise, and of course the political party representatives with us here this morning, having to answer to some of these very difficult questions at times. And just going through the panel once again, we've got the ANC, we've got the EFF, APC, the DA, Azapo, and Shimoko. We also have GLC and the Land Party. Those are the parties represented here this morning. We try to take as many as we can so that we can be as representative as we can in any particular area. But thank you so much for watching the election debate here on Morning Live. And it's back to the questions and the answers from the panel. So let me take two more questions and then I'll get the panel to respond. Go for it, sir.
No, thanks, Presenter. My name is Sidwer Mabunda. I just want to... First, I want to appreciate the ANC-led government. My granny is owning a house and is having access to social grant. My question is, issue of health in South Africa is more expensive, particularly when you go to private health facilities. What is it that the ANC is going to do to make sure that our people in South Africa have access to quality health? So that was the question. Thanks, Chair.
Thank you so much. Next question.
I can. My name is Mbitsimuni Raymond Chauke. Now the posa question like EFF. Tani le system of ANC government. You follow Giyani College. You follow university. You follow na airport. yi pfala na xikimi xa swikwenge le na xa banana yi pfala na mati le damu ri nga ndhope yi pfala na youth camp hi la ta tiva swa ku ri EFF yi ta hi endlela yini ku va swilo leswi swi vuya ende lexin'wana la ta tiva ku ri tanihiloko ku sungula mfumo wa government wa ANC wu hambanise Matsonga na Machangani hi hambana so hi ta kuma njhani ku va hosi ya Machangani na because I se va na hosi nkulu hi la ta tiva ku ri EFF yi ta hi endlela yini.
All right. Okay. So we're going to get some questions answered right now. And there were a few other people that also wanted to ask questions, and they are still at the back there. So I'm going to have to ask you to please just give each other an opportunity to come through and ask the question. All right, one more before I go to the panel here. One more.
Okay, inkomo vitra mina mina simple man. Lexi lava ku vutisa xona ka lava ANC. Tanihi ku ha swi vona la Afrika Dzonga kumbe ngopfungopfu la Giyani. Ku na vantshwa vo tala ngopfu lavo ka va nga ri ku tirheni. Se mi hlekete ku endla njhani hi vantshwa lavawani loko hi heta ku vota inkomo?
All right. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to start on this end here because I want to hear your views on the questions that have been posed to some of the other parties. But evidently, you also have views and you also have possible solutions to these issues. All right. Let's start with the question that was posed about all of the colleges, the schools, whatever other facilities have been closed around this particular area. You also mentioned it in your opening. So what are some of the solutions to that problem?
Okay, thank you so much. According to that one of schools, we were having those colleges around Giyani. The problem, we were having lack of leadership during the time of the ANC. In Land Party now, we are having that leadership and that system of dealing with everything that have been went wrong during the time of the ANC in the leadership of taking over the government. Since 1994, they shut down Giyani College, they shut down Siandani Airport. They shut down even where people were going for, they were having jobs there at the Omu 14A.
But what's the solution?
The solution is this, is to take back those things in the right stand and then start working. Land, when we talk about land now, we are not only talking about land just because we want to grab land. We are talking about economic development. We have to develop our economy. In this state, we must have this so-called strategical planning. Those people that are...
But what does that mean? And I think this goes for all the parties here.
It means that...
You tend to speak in parables. You speak rhetoric when it doesn't really tell us what exactly you are going to do.
Okay. We are going to give, like, e.g., we go to land. In our land, we must provide our people with resources that they can use in that land. The resources that we have to give them, they want to have shelters. They don't even have shelters, some of them. They don't even have places to live. That's why today we have a lot of people who are in the street because they don't have homes. The only people who have homes is those people who have enriched themselves today. Politicians by themselves. Some of them, if you can check, I can even point unto them today. Now, even here, you can see, here's the manager. Here's the manager of in the municipality level, who cannot even provide anything unto youth. He's standing with the youth. We are only coming for EPWP. All over Giyani, people are working. There are only EPWPs.
Okay.
Let's employ these people. Let's give them jobs.
We'll come to that employment question.
That's why we're saying vote here in Land Party. It's just because we want to give them jobs so that they can occupy themselves.
Got you, Land Party. And then GLC, there was a question to you.
Yeah, thank you very much. I think the issue that we raised...
Can we listen to GLC, please?
Is that of young people who are engaged in daga and also drugs. In our view as GLC, we feel that is crime against humanity. And we are saying that one of the reasons why people are engaged in those kind of activities is because they are not employed. And yet, here in Giyani only, you've got mines that were operating at that time. Now they were all closed. And immediately when we take over government, what we are going to do is to try and open all the mines that are here. Only one mine is able to take over 100,000 people. And we are going to stop this thing of EPWP. It's a shame to our young people.
Okay, but can we be honest with the people of Giyani? Is it as simple as going and opening a mine? What is the actual reason why the mine closed? And why hasn't anybody come forward to reopen that mine?
We tried and speak to the MEC of Economic Development, Mr. Squat. He was here. We engaged with him. He made a promise to say, look guys, we are coming back to address that question. And until such time that we take over, no one is able to address that question. And we are saying we have already engaged with international investors.
So the investors are lined up to come and open the mine.
We are going to immediately when we take over, mines are going to be opened, and this thing of EWP is going to stop because we'll have young people employed and we'll have a lot of people who are going to work here. Like for instance, the mall is being opened. there's no buying power. Young people are not working. All these people are working for a collection of pampers. It's not correct. We need to create decent jobs for our people.
Okay.
Once you open mines, they are working, they'll earn salaries, they'll buy cars, but with this system of collecting pampers, there's no life at all.
Okay. Let's move over to Shimoko. You can speak to those issues, but I want us to get into the question of VBS as well as we move along.
No, I thank you, ma'am. My name's Alpheus. On land issue, during our time, we gave the people of Giyani land in the area of Home 14A to plant the bananas, tomatoes, and other thing, and other stuff. And again, we gave to my family the very big land, more than 15,000 hectares, to breed the cattle. As I'm speaking now today, there is more than 5,000 cattle who's in the Majeji area. So, ma'am, now I'm worrying about the Greater Giyani Municipality. They invested 155 million to VBS. As we're speaking now today, it's affecting the service delivery in Giyani. As we're speaking now, there is no water here in Giyani. There is no proper infrastructure. There is a lot of potholes. So if people of Giyani, they can vote for Shimoko, we are promising to give them more than 5 tarred road.
Okay.
The road from Tomo to Tlamela, the road from Mpagani to Shlakati, the road from Babangu Ndengeza to that side of Musengi. So we are ready to work for our people.
All right.
Thank you, ma'am.
Moving straight along, and as it starts to drizzle here in Giyani, but the show goes on, we'll continue until the end of the program. And Azapo.
I think we are all agreed, including the ruling party, that it was a mistake to close teachers' training colleges, hoping that universities will intake those people who want to be teachers. Universities are not necessarily specialists in terms of teachers' training. We agreed. And I think there's an agreement that there's a need to reopen teachers' training so that we improve the teacher-child ratio in the classroom. There's agreement in terms of that. The other thing in terms of quality housing that we need it needs to happen. As Apo says, it needs to introduce a state housing corporation that will give people a choice. People have to choose whether I want to rent now because I'm unable to buy right away, and or I'm able to buy now because the state has also built me a house that I can afford. And also it will give people a choice in terms of design of the house. So, but we need to, as example, introduce a state housing corporation and building societies that will ensure that happens. And that is what we talk of when we talk of human dignity that we want to return to our people.
Democratic Alliance, there was a question there to you?
Yeah, well, there are two questions basically that are directed to us on the issue of corruption. We all can agree that, look, I mean, on the issue of the VBS, I mean, with the Terum Tau report, we have not yet seen anyone who has been charged and prosecuted. Because look, I mean, those who are involved in the VBS down there, they are high-profile ANC politicians.
Just 1 minute for me, please. Just a second. Can I just pause you for a second? Can we please just ask to listen to the answers? You ask the questions, so it's only fair that you listen to the responses. Continue, please.
Yeah, we are saying as a Democratic Alliance, like I mentioned with the issue of the VBS, that I mean, there's a Terum Tau report that is out, but we still yet to see people being arrested and prosecuted and the likes, because most of those who are involved are mayors. And you remember that, I mean, one of the big person basically who is involved in the VBS, the former mayor of Vembe, who is now tipped to become the first female, premier of Limpopo. So as the Democratic Alliance, we are saying we shall establish a special unit basically that will identify and deal with corruption, that will ensure that, I mean, those who are corrupt basically, you know, you don't take too long to charge them. We will ensure that as a Democratic Alliance, those who are involved in corruption scandals, they are put in jail for 15 years. Like what is happening right now, if you look around, most politicians, you can see they are living it large in reality. So we are saying as a DA, we will introduce a lifestyle audit for all politicians to ensure that people live within their means instead of stealing from the government. On the issue of service delivery, the Democratic Alliance is the only party in South Africa that has got the best record in terms of service delivery. Because if you look at the AG report, in the last financial year, we got 83% of the clean audit in the Western Cape, followed by Gauteng with 52%. So we are saying as a Democratic Alliance, we are actually going to build a very, very professional public servant, which will ensure that they provide services to the people rather than providing services to the cronies.
All right, let's move to APC.
Thank you. Let me address the issue of health. On health at Giyani, as I'm speaking now, the hospital, Kensani Hospital, has been downgraded to a district hospital. And Kensani Hospital services 244,000 people of Greater Giyani, and yet is downgraded to a district hospital which doesn't have specialists. I personally have taken people to Kensani Hospital who stayed there for over 3 days without treatment, waiting to be transferred to Mankweng and Pulukwani, and there they always say there are no beds. So people stay here and die here without treatment because the hospital has been downgraded. So APC will upgrade Kensani Hospital to a level where it will be able to service the peoples of Giyani, because at the moment people are dying. On the issue of land, let me bring this to the attention of the people. Africa does not belong to Africans. Africa belongs to the banks. The banks from Europe, they own Africa, because every land in Africa, even the cars that we drive, are funded by the banks, and the land is bonded by the banks. Africa does not belong to Africans. So we have to end the illegal operations of the banks and bring back Africa.
Okay.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
APC. All right. Between EFF and ANC, you have 2.5 minutes each.
Okay, look, on the question, on the question posed by the young lady from Land Party, I think she just asked without thinking. I don't even get the logic of the question, because my point I raised the point of ANC giving people jobs in exchange of sex.
Yes.
I didn't say the government of EFF. It's yes, you. Okay. Let me talk to the real issues.
You've got a minute left. You've got a minute.
Let me talk to the real issues. On the issue of health, the EFF government is not going to take a solution of upgrading Kensani Hospital as a point of departure of the crisis. No, we are saying in the government of EFF that each and every ward must have a clinic so that we avoid the overpopulation that is in hospitals. The 500 people that are served in one hospital will no longer be the number that is going to the hospital, because each and every ward will be having a clinic that operates 24 hours, 7 days a week.
Okay.
Now, secondly,
you've got half a minute.
On the VBS issue, we are not going to talk about VBS issue as the EFF, because Motown report does not contain any of the member of EFF. So it's the ANC to deal with it. And then
no, I'm going to have to leave it there. I need to give him time to finish as well.
No.
I told you at the onset you have 2.5 minutes.
You are not fair, Sakina.
No, you need to be fair to me. I told you 2.5 minutes.
Your time goes fast. Every time when
maybe you speak a lot. Over to the ANC.
Okay, I'm happy today. They brought the MEC here to expose himself.
Okay.
He doesn't even have a respond on the issue of water in Giyani.
Okay, let him
respond. He doesn't have respond on the issues of health in Giyani. He doesn't bring any solution to the people of Giyani. He is continuing to speak about the speeches that were spoken in 1994, 1999.
Thank you.
Thank you. Let me start with the VBS matter. It is true that the Greater Giyani Municipality invested 158 million into the VBS.
Can we hear the response, please?
And the council, which is led by the African National Congress here, even before the Terim Tau report, they have done their own investigation. They have charged the municipal manager, the CFO. All of them have gone through the disciplinary process and they have been expelled from the municipality. That is what we have done. But also I must say, we are only the political party in this country who have been seen to be acting on people who have done something wrong with the VBS. There are some people who would let go. We also, as the African National Congress,
I tell you what, we're going to listen to the conclusion of your answer, but on television and SABC 2 and SABC News Channel 404, it's back to Morning Live, but we'll continue listening to your response here. Back to the studio.
Cannon FM, Xitsonga Music